playing golf. My love for the game heightened last year during the work from home policy. It was the one day of the week that I get to be away from home, away from my wife. Don't get me wrong, I love my wife. I love being with her. But as the saying goes, too much of anything is not good. Anyway, on one weekday, I went to play golf with a friend called Desmond. We shared one golf cart, which is the vehicle that drives us around a golf course. And my friend Desmond was the driver. We were having a whale of a time. The weather was cooling, the views were spectacular, and my ball was going to places which I wanted them to go. Okay. When we finished our game, as we were heading back to the clubhouse to have our refreshing beer and food session, when we come to a path that has a very steep decline, my friend, who was the driver, decided to have the thrill of our life. He just let the golf cart roll down the slope without stepping on the brake. And at the end of the slope, there was a right turn. And when we were about to make the turn, an oncoming golf cart appeared. And my friend then immediately stepped on the brake, causing the vehicle to skid, swerve to the left, and turn away from the other golf cart. Luckily, we avoided a collision. When we stopped, my first reaction was, why you so like that? You nearly caused a collision and maybe you could even cause us to die. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, splendid Saturday afternoon. Have you all experienced such close shave, near-death, near-miss experience in your life? Raise your hand, show me. Okay, let me confess here. The path that we were driving on was not that steep. It was more like this, or maybe it was just like this. And the near miss that we had, all right, the near miss that I caught was actually more like this distance apart. So the question I have here is, why did I overreact? Why my negative reaction was amplified and magnified many times? I did not understand my own action until recently when I read a book called Hardwiring Happiness by Dr. Rick Hanson, where he talked about a theory called negativity bias. That's when I realized that we are wired from hundreds of millions of years to be negativity bias. So there's an evolutionary cause to it. That means we did not really create this negativity in us. It really went back all the way to the Stone Age days when we were either make sure that we eat our lunch or be the lunch of some tiger lurking around. When we see some movements in the bush in the Stone Age day, we would rather think that, oh, there was a tiger in the bush. Let's prepare to fight or flight. We can't afford to think positively to say there's no tiger. Because if we were just being wrong once, just once, we would become the lunch for the tiger. And there would be no survival and no posterity that we can talk about. And when I did further research, there's a group of researchers called Hamlin, Wine, and Bloom who studied on 3-month-old baby. And they can even show that even at a 3 months old, there's a negativity bias in them. Another group of researchers actually shows that our brains has 10 times more negative neurons than positive neurons through our MRI and through our brain scans technology that has advanced until this stage. So the good news is, through these researchers, we discovered that negativity bias is not our fault, okay? We didn't create it. But the bad news is, although we are no longer living in the harsh moment by moment, life and death era, but this negativity bias still operates within us. It still affects our daily life. When we drive in traffic, when we go into a meeting, when we are in the Toastmasters meeting, or even when we are playing golf. And there are some causes of this negativity bias. It will cause a lot of stress in us, anxieties, interpersonal issues, and bottom line is it will affect our overall well-being and happiness. So after my further reading and research on positive psychologies and related topics such as meditation and mindfulness thinking, I compiled a simple approach to help us overcome this negativity bias and to overcome our urge to judge others. I call this the triple A's approach. Okay. The first A is accept and don't act. Next time, whenever you have any negativity thoughts that surfaces in your brain, just accept it. Tell yourself this is just a thought. Don't act on it. And let yourself cool down. And after some times, when you have cooled down, you can look for alternative explanation. Look for alternative explanation to the event after you have cooled down. And third A is, perhaps you could even appreciate the good after you have calmed down. Looking back at my golf incident, if I haven't reacted, why you so like that? If I calm down, let my negative thought cool down, we would have gone to the clubhouse happily drinking our beer. And then when I've drunk some beer, I will realize that, hey, the slope wasn't that steep. My friend wasn't driving so fast. And bottom line is, we were totally unscathed. Why did I react so intensely? So using this three approach, it will change the entire incident totally. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, next time when your spouse annoys you, or when your colleague irritates you, or a fellow Toastmasters stresses you, before you judge them with a, why you so like that? Remember of these three A's: accept, don't act, alter your explanation to the situation, and try to appreciate the good around that particular situation or event or the person. And I assure you, you will be a happier person than yesterday. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.